All that talking I be doing, it be before the musicians get there. All that prep that I do before the musicians even get there. I like this. All right, telescopic situation. Okay. Whoosh. So, closing out. Myshii. The production of all of this stuff. Before I can step into the artist world, it's production. It's like being in the Matrix. Before you plug in and plugging in, and then you finally get in the game, and then you get a chance to be. When I get a chance to be is when I'm on stage, when the mic is on, when the cameras are on, when action is called. You feel me? Gym, beach, all in one. So that's the beauty of it. So when I said locks in motion, I was in DC, and yes, there are like beaches that you can access not too far from DC, but you got to drive a little bit, and but you can find bodies of water. So I found there's a body of water that was not far at all, just like 10 minutes from my apartment at the time. And I would go there and I started doing outdoor sessions just because that's what felt good and natural to do at the time. I wouldn't always want to be cramped up in the house. So I started playing around with the concept. Then I finally did the first retreat. And then I did another one the next year, and it became like a project that from that point forward, I kept it going. And then finally transferred it to the stage. So we got together, we worked out. I was an art teacher at the time, so I made some shirts, screen printed from scratch. I designed the logo. And before you know it, Sherrod Natural was born. I appreciated creating and being a part of every step of the creative process. From designing the shop, the backdrop, choosing the capes, the brand, designing the logo, advertising, meeting, that's a whole other conversation. Developing my clientele from scratch and watching sort of manifestation happen, translate into what will become something I can pass on now as my business cards. Work that I put in on that day, before and after, it lives forever through images, which speak a million words and they live forever. That is beautiful. He is killing it back there. So that's the idea, the next part of it, to bring the style part in. If we at the stage, then that's the runway. We're going to start off Muscle Beach Gym, work it out, work it out, work it out. Then we got flex. So here's the program. Soul Sundays. Solar Powered Sundays. Solar power is God power. Then we have, I've been on the fence. It's either going to be Mindful Mondays, Meditation Mondays, Melody or Melodic Mondays, Medicine Mondays. But again, the idea and the concept is Sundays, I go to drum circle, drop that pocket. Like we have percussion and drums down from Sunday. If we're going to do one rep at a time, fight for your reps. I need to make musical gains every day, every week, just like I'm making physical gains. And then I need to make money, monetary gains, professional gains, personal, spiritual, soul, mind, mental gains, period. Oh, I like this. Look at their canopies over there. They're all colorful and lined up. You can tell that there's some sort of retreat going on. So, fast forward, 2018, I moved to Los Angeles from DC. And let me see. Can I actually use this tripod and be hands-free right now? This has been a great sound check production rehearsal. Yo, this is great. And just one more time, bro, is still on the bars, killing it. And fly with the army fatigue and the hat and the shades. It's just perfect because we're bringing style into this. We're getting ready for this runway show. So, there we go. we want to see center stage. Center stage. Center stage. Okay. I did the hair show at the Howard Theater in DC. And then when I came to LA in 2018, I spent a year of networking and planning and getting my life together. And then opened the studio in Burbank, did the hair show May 2019, like my birthday weekend. Announced the grand opening for the studio, and the studio lasted for real, you know, not even a full year. It wasn't making a profit at the time, enough for me to keep it, and so I sort of like had to like come up with something else. So the booth rent thing at the shops wasn't working. While I was building the clientele, I spent that time to build the clientele, but I built it in North Hollywood. That was a barbershop I was working at, and I also worked at another shop, which we're going to talk about. There is, I shot it earlier, but there is a new, it says Marathon Burger, which has a Nipsey Hussle picture up. So I'm imagining Nipsey Hussle has a burger business now called Marathon Burger. Conceptually, that is very profound and symbolic and great for me, in connection to this project, because during this time I said I was working at a barbershop in North Hollywood, and I was also working at a shop. At the time, I didn't realize it. It's at the intersection of Slauson and Crenshaw. If you go to that intersection, you have the Marathon store, which I didn't even know what that was, who it was involved with at the time. It was 2018. I just was disconnected. So you have the Marathon store, you have the intersection like a light, and then on the other side of that light is the barbershop I was working at, which was blocks away from, if you were to keep walking down, imagine this same street, you would run into like Home Depot. My favorite place at the time was Chile Verde, this little burrito taco Mexican spot. They had like a shoe place, food for less, all of that kind of stuff over there. And I would just walk. I'd be like, "Ooh, look, a Tupac mural," or "Ooh, look, I also knew the spots, you know," and didn't realize it, didn't have any problems. But I found out very soon that I was in quite a territory, and quite a territory that cost Nipsey Hussle his life. So if I was working literally just across the street from the Marathon store without knowing it at that time, and life is a marathon, and learning the whole message about marathon, and I have a rehearsal clip to prove it. We were supposed to do a piece of a Nipsey Hussle song. Last time that I checked, and there was one more. Last time that I checked, and the other one was, I can't remember. But it was two songs we were supposed to incorporate in the hair show. I didn't do it. I did two other songs, which was Aladdin, and I mentioned Broadway. I want to make that connection. And then Lion King, Circle of Life. We did Friend Like Me, Never Had a Friend Like Me. Let's talk about Genie. And then Lion King, let's talk about, wow. And then recently they just released the Mufasa movie. What is that called? Is it just called Mufasa? I don't know, but it was great. So, but Circle of Life is the song we did with Sound of Indigo for Locks in Motion, and I'll show you in playback what I mean. So I was across the street from the Marathon store in real life, and then now to do this stage presentation, which the stage is my shop, I'm doing it across the street from the Marathon Burger. I just can't see it from this particular angle, but I think it's actually right there. Just a story that I want to connect and announce, share with the story. Life is a marathon, and it has been a marathon. So from that point, if you think the time was 2019, closed the shop. Now I'm doing house calls, and then COVID happens March 2020. January, I had just started working at a restaurant where they told me at the interview, back of the house, busser, runner, don't ask, no promotions, you won't be serving. Like that was established at the interview. I was like, whoa. So servant, genie, connection, fine dining, bourgeois, feather duster, connections, storyline. I will connect them later, but they all connect. Bourgeois, baby. We doing this thing. Bougie bourgeois, Myshii, baby, it's live, all the way live. You are live, underground remix live, the #1 radio source for live rhythm and news, classics and current events, music and information, jams and thoughts, which sometimes require a little participation and improvisation during our live jam sessions. Broadcasted from right here at the station. I'm your master of ceremonies. And again, my name is Sherrod Myshii. Myshii, baby, you know me. Oh, this is great because I want to hold this right here. I had the idea recently. Fast forward, I talked NAS, no amplified sound acronym, double entendre meaning gem in the pocket, no amplified sound, amped and amplified, inline earphone, plugin, matrix, connection, storyline, Broadway, Aladdin, connection. Point. What do I need to say? Whoosh. This has been great. Phenomenal. I need to get out of here. And this has been great. I love it. I love everything about it. Just for the note, that black square, that black wall is blocking what I would love to have open, but at the same time, I do like the door entrance. But I said, hooks, production, art department, Myshii, can you please tell art department? White canopy sidewall backdrop and or canvas backdrop. We're going to need plants and or hooks for those. Okay. Then projection. We're going to talk projection, projector. That's going to be hot. Let's say RGB, night, reflective. We'll get into what that means. LED, mirror, reflection. We'll get into all of that, what it means. I've said the story. Opened the shop. COVID happened. I never opened another shop. I finally got into the world that I came out here to do, which was to be on-camera talent, performing talent, voice talent, just artist, musician, all of that. And to be honest, I moved out here the first time in 2010 for a year and didn't know it at the time, but I left in a year just sort of like, yo, a year has gone by and I don't have a full-time job yet. I don't have a consistent income flow and I'm a guest and I don't want to overstay my welcome. So I made my mark. I got it. I'll be back. Didn't know how long it was going to take, but I said when I come back, a few things. I get the time and the pacing out here, but I moved to New York and worked behind the scenes in production and was getting paychecks, on a schedule. That made sense. I could not find work out here. I didn't realize what would later translate through that job interview where they told me no promotions, back of the house only. I didn't realize that I was already in that at the time, but there were a few factors. One, I had a short haircut, bare face. LA is not just casting world, but I would say casting culture. Across the board, it transfers over into HR. And whereas a director could be subjective with choosing a person or casting a person that meets their vision for a project, HR has other rules for hiring that the Los Angeles area and culture does not honor. It's very much almost the same thing. And a lot of those factors were playing at that time to my favor and advantage. Ooh, now the conversation is getting deep. What was playing to my advantage was this term that I would later learn in the casting world called ethnically ambiguous. and it's just as it sounds, where your ethnicity is ambiguous. If you know the definition of ambiguous, not easily distinguishable, um, can't tell what you are. I had a casting director tell me and confirm to me when in conversation, it basically means light skin. Can't tell what you are. It means not black. If they want black, they'll say black. And a lot of times when they want black, they want black, blue black, chocolate black. There's so many variations of black. But ethnically ambiguous would be not black, which is a whole other conversation. One of the first cards I passed out here for hair was to a gentleman that said, I checked out your work, and he kept saying at the gym, like, oh, I'm a book. And I'm like, cool, bro. Cool if you do, cool if you don't. I just pass on the card. That's what I do. He was like, I'm going to go to this other stylist or barber because they said they don't do nigga hair. And I was like, what is nigga hair? And what are you? Because I thought we were the same thing. Now, mind you, I'm black. I'm a lighter complexion. My dad is lighter complexion. My mom's side is the darker complexion. And I grew up with them, and I was the lightest one in the family, which came with a whole other discussion and topic, which we'll get into. But we can go ahead and put Yahshua, Yahuwah here. We can say Jesus Christ there, image. We could say white Michael Jackson, black Michael Jackson. We could say young me, evolved me. There is a connection, and we'll break that in, which we're gonna talk about in the stage show. And it is relevant because everything about this stage show right now is me coming into myself and presenting me to myself, and me living not in the capacity of what somebody is telling me, busser only, runner only, or hell, even server. I just knew that from my experience in Harlem, which is story, music, Red Rooster Harlem, the centerpiece of live jazz during that time, which was 2012, 13, 14. And then I moved back to DC 2015, 14, 15 through 18, moved back out here, 18 to present. It's now 2025. Long story. Whoosh. But no, I never worked at another shop after leaving the one at the Marathon, across from the Marathon store, Slauson and Crenshaw, and then the one in North Hollywood, Magnolia Boulevard. I opened up mine in Burbank, and when I closed that, I told you I did house calls, and then I did, when I finally got my apartment, which was 2020, literally 2020, when the world reopened from the pandemic, I opened up my living room again like I did in DC, only I was living on Hollywood Boulevard, and that I stopped. I was like, that's inviting Hollywood Boulevard into your home. And yeah, though it's work and I had my set designed how I wanted to do it, vibe, energy, certain things, certain experiences, certain individuals, I was like, I can't do this. So I stopped that and then created another, which was already conceptually done by me on the East Coast in DC, but I brought it back and it became a pop-up shop vendor version of my business. And everybody, after COVID, had to come up with an outdoor vendor version of their business. And I was already ahead of the game. I already knew what to do. I had already been doing beach retreats, outdoor setups, workouts, and so boom, Sherrod Natural. Yes, it's coming together. It's coming together. It's coming together. The gym is open. People are here. It's flowing. Now just imagine adding the music, art element, hair element. It's going to be so fire. He's killing it again. He just did a handstand on the bar. This is so great. I love this. It's a beach retreat. So it was formerly called the Sherrod Natural Beach Retreat. I'm playing around with ideas for the name. Do I want to keep it the Sherrod Natural Beach Retreat? Do I want to say Myshii? Camp Myshii? Do I want to say I don't know. I want to say a lot. And the rest of it